Hello everyone, welcome back to physics classes by Harish. Today we are going to discuss about the acceleration due to gravity. So in part of our NEET crash course, motion in straight line, today our topic is acceleration due to gravity. This acceleration due to gravity plays very important role. So while solving the numericals, while an object is freely falling down or when an object is vertically projected upward, so whatever it may be in kinematics, in motion in plane and all dynamics also, acceleration due to gravity plays very important role, right? So here acceleration due to gravity. First of all, what is acceleration due to gravity? Acceleration due to gravity is nothing but uniform acceleration gained by the body when it is falling down or when object is moving upward direction, right? Uniform acceleration gained by the body when object is either it is moving downward or moving upward direction due to the earth gravitational field, due to the earth gravitational field. Okay, once again, uniform acceleration gained by the body when it is either it is moving downward or moving upward due to the earth gravitational field. Due to the earth gravitational field is nothing but acceleration due to gravity. So generally it is indicated with or denoted with a letter small g. Always it is denoted with small g only. So its value is constant for all the bodies, whatever it may be. Either it is a iron, brick, wood, feather, whatever a metal, whatever the object. So for all the objects at a given place, acceleration due to gravity will be remains constant. So next one is nothing but it is independent of acceleration due to gravity, independent of shape, size, material of the body and nature of the body, construction of the body, whatever it is, either it is spherical, solid, cylindrical, cubical, whatever it may be. Okay, so the acceleration due to gravity does not depend upon the shape, size, material of the body. So next one is nothing but its value changes from place to place. Acceleration due to gravity remains constant at all the places of the earth, right? So even on the earth also its value will be changes from one place to another place. And acceleration due to gravity changes from planet to planet. Acceleration due to gravity depends upon the mass of the planet and radius of the planet, right? Mass of the planet and radius of the planet. So size of the planet and shape of the planet also, acceleration due to gravity depends upon the shape, size, mass of the planet, right? Because of that reason, acceleration due to gravity changes from one place to another place, one planet to another planet. As we know that acceleration due to gravity on the moon is 1/6 of acceleration due to gravity on the earth's surface. Okay, so here that we'll see here, its value changes from place to place on earth. So even on the earth also its value will be changes. At poles, acceleration due to gravity is maximum, that is 9.8 meter per second square, and minimum at equator, that is 9.78 meter per second square. Okay, so coming to our kinematics, motion in straight line, we have to give the sign for the g based on the direction of motion with respect to the earth surface. Okay, so here sign of g taken as positive when an object is freely falling down. Acceleration due to gravity is positive when object is freely falling towards the earth surface, and second one is nothing but it is negative when object is moving upward direction. When object is projected vertically upward with initial velocity, then its acceleration due to gravity is minus. Why? Because gravitational field is always acting towards the earth surface, means it is a gravitational pull towards the earth surface. Because of that reason, here when object is moving upward direction, so direction of motion of object is opposite to the gravitational pull. So because of that reason, here sign of the acceleration due to gravity is negative when object is projected vertically upward. When object is freely falling towards the earth surface, so its sign is positive. Generally, on average, earth surface will take acceleration due to gravity as 9.8 meter per second square, right? 9.8 meter per second square. In some cases, while solving the numericals, for easy calculations, we'll take rough value 10. G is equal to 10 for easy calculation. But exact value of the acceleration due to gravity on earth surface is 9.8 will take. Okay. Yes. Yeah. Now we'll see motion under gravity. So in motion under gravity, there are two cases. First one is freely falling body. Second one is vertically projected upward direction. Okay. Freely falling body and vertically upward. So first we'll see that freely falling body. What does that mean by freely falling body? Let you drop an object from certain height. Let you drop an object from certain height. So that object is known as freely falling body. So because of gravitational pull, that object is moving towards the earth's surface. That type of motion of body is nothing but freely falling body. So in that freely falling body, we have to remember 2 points, important, very important. Always it is fixed in that freely falling body. So first one is nothing but initial velocity is always 0. Initial velocity is always 0. Why? Because we are dropping an object from certain height without any velocity. Simply we are leaving the object from certain height. So that in that case, initial velocity is always 0. As we discussed in that earlier case, acceleration due to gravity is positive when object is moving downward direction. Acceleration due to gravity is positive when it is moving downward direction. So these two are the important points when object is freely falling body. Okay, so next one we'll see that some important points in the freely falling body. So first one is nothing but the ratio of distances traveled in first second, second second, third second up to n seconds. Ratio of distances traveled by the body first second, second second, third second up to n seconds is 1 square, 2 square, 3 square, 4 square. That here before that we can write 1 is to 4 is to 9 is to 16 is to and so on. Right, 1 is to 4 is to 6, 9 is to 16 and so on, and n square we can write n. Okay, so then here if you write in form of squares, so 1 square, 2 square, 3 square, 4 square up to and so on, n square we can write. How it is? So as we know that equation, second equation, s is equal to ut plus half at square. S is equal to ut plus half at square. As we know that this term becomes 0. Initial velocity is 0. So the first term will be 0. Then we can write, let us take first second. S1 is equal to half into A is nothing but acceleration due to gravity and T is nothing but 1 square. So then it will be G divided by 2 into 1 square we can write. Similarly, S2 is equal to half into G into 2 square we can write. So that will be G by 2 into 2 square we can write. So in all the cases, S1, S2, S3 and so on, these all the cases, G by 2 will be common. G by 2 will be common. G by 2 is the multiple of that distance traveled by the object in different time, different seconds of time. So here for S1 we got 1 square, for S2 it is 2 square, S3 3 square, S4 4 square, like that we get. So 1 square is nothing but 1, 2 square is nothing but 4, 3 square is nothing but 9 and 4 square is nothing but 16. That we can write in terms of squares. 1 square is to 2 square is to 3 square is to and so on, n square. So this is the distance, the ratio of distance traveled by the object in the case of freely falling body in first, second, third, fourth and so on, nth second is 1 square, 2 square, 3 square, 4 square and so on, n square. Yeah. So second one, the ratio of distances traveled in successive seconds is 1 is to 3 is to 5 is to 9. How it is? As we know that equation 4, Sn is equal to u plus a divided by 2 into 2n minus 1. So in the case of freely falling body, initial velocity is 0. So this term will be 0. Then Sn is equal to a by 2 into 2n minus 1. Suppose first second, it is a by a means g by 2 into 1 minus 1. So it will be g by 2. So for the second will be S2 is equal to g by 2 into 2 minus 1. So it will be 3g by 2. Similarly, S3 is equal to g by 2 into 3 minus 1. So this will be 5g by 2. If you take the ratio of those all S1, S2, S3 and so on, it will be 1 is to 3 is to 5 is to and so on. 1 is to 3 is to 5 is to and so on, right? So that is the first second, means like suppose from here to here 10 seconds now. 10 seconds means we have to divide it into 10 parts. So this is nothing but S1, this is S2, S3, S4, S5, likewise. So this is nothing but G by 2, this is nothing but 3G by 2, this is 5g by 2, and like 7g by 2, and so on we'll get it. So ratio will 1 is to 3 is to 5 is to 7 is to, and so on we can get, right? Yeah, it will be, it's not 9, it will be 7 and so on, n plus 1, not n plus 1, it will be 2n plus 1 we can write. So here it will be 2n plus 1, 2n plus 1. And next, coming to that third case, the fraction of distance fallen in nth second, fraction of distance fallen in nth second is nth second is Sn divided by S. Sn divided by Sn divided by S is equal to 2n minus 1 divided by n square. So here nth second, fallen in nth second means suppose from here to here, this is the height mark. So a last second, this is nth second. So as we know that from here to here total distance is nothing but S is equal to half g into t square we can write. Sn is equal to, we can write half g into n square we can write. So that is nothing but S, total distance. So nth second is nothing but S, nth, this is nothing but g by 2 into 2n minus 1. Ratio of, let this is S, total distance, yes. So here it will be half into half g into n square will get. For total will be half g into n square will get. For last second, nth second is nothing but g by 2 into 2n minus 1. Ratio of this Sn to S is nothing but 2n minus 1 divided by n square. 2n minus 1 divided by n square. That is the fraction of. So the fraction of distance fallen in nth second. In nth second, how much distance it is fallen as compared to the total journey. As compared to the total journey, that is Sn divided by S is equal to 2n minus 1 divided by n square. It is very, very important. No? And next one is in uniform accelerated motion, the distance traveled in every second. In uniform accelerated motion, distance traveled in every second increases by an amount equal to magnitude of acceleration due to gravity. Suppose S1, S2, S3 are the distance traveled in first, second, third, second. So distance traveled in S2 is equal to S1 plus A, S1 plus G. Okay, A is nothing but acceleration due to gravity. S2 is equal to S1 plus G. So that we are going to prove here. So let Sn is equal to U plus A by 2 into 2n minus 1. Sm is equal to U plus A by 2 into 2m minus 1. According to that fourth equation, Sn is equal to U by 2 into U plus A by 2 into 2n minus 1. So from that, Sn minus Sm we are writing. Sn minus Sm we are writing. So here Sn minus Sm is equal to A into n minus 1. By subtracting those two equations, we will get A is equal to A into n minus 1. So from that we can write acceleration due to acceleration of the object A is equal to Sn minus Sm divided by n minus 1 from this equation. Sn minus Sm is equal to A into n minus m. So A is equal to Sn minus Sm divided by n minus m. Okay, suppose if you consider n is equal to m plus 1, n is equal to m plus 1, m plus 1 minus Sm is equal to A into, in place of n we have to put m plus 1, m plus 1 minus m will be cancelled. Sm plus 1 minus Sm is equal to A. Okay, so then Sm plus 1 is equal to Sm plus A. So how it is? S3, see here, S1 is equal to, let us, G by 2. S1 is equal to G by 2. S2 is equal to 3G by 2. 3G by 2. So S2 is equal to, we can write S1 plus G we can write. S1 plus G. So here S1 is nothing but what? G by 2 plus G. So this will be 3G by 2. Okay, this is matched, right? So S2 is equal to S1 plus G. So every next second, distance traveled by the object in next second is the sum of the acceleration due to gravity plus distance traveled in the previous second. Suppose S3 is equal to S2 plus G. S4 is equal to S3 plus G. Likewise, in each term, the acceleration due to gravity will be increases. So this much will be increases. S2 is equal to S1 plus G. S3 is equal to S2 plus G. Like each term equal. see, by amount equal to magnitude of acceleration due to gravity, increases by acceleration due to gravity in each term. Okay, ma. Yeah. So now we'll discuss about the vertically projected upward. Right. So motion under gravity, two cases are there. First one is nothing but freely falling body. Second one is vertically projected upward. So here, vertically projected upward. Vertically projected upward means we have to project an object upward with initial velocity. Initially, we have to give certain velocity so that there only object can move upward direction. So in this case, initial velocity cannot be zero. If there is no initial velocity, object will not move upward direction. So here we have to give the initial velocity. When object is in vertically upward motion, initial velocity not equal to 0. And when it is moving upward direction, acceleration due to gravity is negative, as we have discussed. And when it is falling down, acceleration due to gravity is positive. Upward is negative. When it is falling down, it is positive. Okay. So here we have to remember the 2 points. Initial velocity is not equal to 0 and acceleration due to gravity is negative when it is projected vertically upward direction. So that how the kinematic equations can be written in the case of an object is projected vertically upward, right? As we know that first equation is V is equal to U plus AT and V is equal to U minus ZT. Acceleration due to gravity is negative. So because of that reason we can write V is equal to U minus GT. Second equation, S is equal to UT plus half AT square, UT plus half UT minus half GT square. Third one is V square minus E square is equal to 2GH. So G is negative minus 2GH. Sn is equal to U minus G by 2 into 2n minus 1. These are the kinematic equations. So in the case of an object is projected vertically upward direction. So at maximum height, velocity will be 0. Final velocity will be 0. And in this equation, 0 is equal to U minus ZT. U minus ZT and U is equal to ZT. U is equal to GT, and the third equation we can write 0 minus U square is equal to minus 2GH. U square is equal to 2GH. Okay, from that we can write H is equal to U square by 2G. H is equal to U square by 2G. This is known as maximum height attained by the object with help of the initial velocity. With help of the initial velocity. So next one is nothing but time of ascent. Time of ascent. Here maximum height is directly proportional to the square of the initial velocity of projection. So based on that initial velocity of projection, height will be depends. If it is more, then it will raise the more height. If it is less height will be rise. So time of ascent is nothing but time taken by the body to reach the maximum height. When object is projected vertically upward direction, how much time it will take to reach the maximum height, that is nothing but time of ascent. So from the first equation, V is equal to U minus ZT. At maximum height, V will be 0. So 0 is equal to U minus ZT. Then 0 is equal to U minus ZT. TA is equal to U by G. Okay. So next, time of descent is nothing but time taken by the body to reach the ground. From maximum height to the ground is nothing but time of ascent is nothing but moving upward direction. Descent is nothing but moving downward direction. So time of descent also U by Z. Time of descent also U by Z. Next, time of flight is nothing but time of ascent plus time of descent. So by adding these two, we'll get T is equal to 2U by G. So thank you friends for watching, and please subscribe and share, comment and support me.